Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GW Panther. It's the Tier 7 German SPG located on the southeastbourne of Malinovka. This one is under the command of talon1958. And I'll start the battle there because obviously we've got a short start on the countdown. Now he's armed with a 15cm howitzer. And Talon is fighting in competition with Angelina. He's not in with Angelina in this game, but they're both trying to get the best win they can. So whoever loses has to get up at the weekend and look after their boy. And whoever wins gets the lie-in. Okay, let's see who wins in this one. This is the first video in the contest. There's going to be another one a little later on. He's setting up underneath the tree and getting ready to shoot at the enemy. First shot is to hit the spotting bush, and I always do that on this map because there's nearly always somebody silly enough to actually go into the bush and try and get spots on the enemy, and they usually get hit by a round. Well, he fires an HE round in, and he's only got standard HE with stun. That's all he's got, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the best ammunition to have. The thing is, you always pick up stun assist off these rounds, and that normally compensates for the fact that you will get less damage overall. Getting dialed in on that Conway. Rounds out. Long flight time. Just a little too late, but he does stun the Conway, who immediately corrects his stun, gets rid of it. He obviously knows if he gets hit on the way up the hill, then yes, he's going to lose quite a lot of hit points. He's going to be attractive to the enemy if he's stunned. Next shot's going after the Emil1951. Okay, well, landed near the aim point, and Talon's already moving position. Well, for those of you who don't know, the GW Panther was a proposal put forward by Waffenant to actually manufacture, well, actually it was put forward by Krupp, actually, more than Waffenant. It was to produce a artillery piece, the SPG, from the hull of a Panther tank. It was actually quite an advanced idea because the Waffenant actually said that they wanted an Arty with a turret that could actually turn. They wanted the turret to turn all 360 degrees, and of course they got that off the Panzerceptfahrleiter 4C or Heischreck. This one doesn't turn all the way round. The turret can turn 26 degrees either side of the centre line. That one hits the windmill. Despite the fact that they made a wooden model, they never actually made a proper vehicle to actually test out whether this would be a good artillery piece. The main reason, of course, being that they claimed they needed all the tanks they could build for action, and they couldn't take any Panther tanks off, or Panther hulls off the production line, because if they did, it was going to make it very difficult for them to keep up the production rate and fulfill all of the needs of the Panther regiments, or Panzer regiments I should say, out in the field. They needed as many tanks as they could get. On the other side of the coin, they were being forced to make do with the Hummel in the meanwhile. The historical name for this Arty was in fact the Gorilla 1215. And it was originally designed to have a 128mm gun, not the 15cm, but the 15cm is what they specified in the game. Now it does have very good accuracy, a wide arc of fire, nice hit on the Emil. And it does have a very wide arc of fire, of course, thanks to that turret. 26 degrees either side of the centre line is 52 degrees, and that means you can change the target without losing too much in the way of aim. The reticule will still be nice and tight. Oh, and the KV-4 dies before Talon's shell arrives. But that Emil 1951 is very low on ammo, or health rather, and he died shortly afterwards. So now we're aiming in the direction of where the convoy was last seen. Is he in view? There he is. So we're following the convoy. Unfortunately, it looks like he didn't hit something there. Looks like the convoy got away before the shell came in. Okay, he's changed position, and there are some enemy tanks in sight, so we can get that Su-130PM. Very low armor on that tank destroyer. He's moving incredibly quick, and he does move quick, that thing. Trying to get a shot on him is difficult because he is trying to get into cover, and he's now got into the bush, but we're not fully dialed in yet. Now he fires. Oh, he got a direct hit. That hit the Su-130PM square on, because the shell disappeared without an explosion. Okay, there's supposed to be a Progetto nearby. Our Skoda is up on top of the cliff. You know, in those bushes overlooking, trying to see where the enemy's moved to. Talon fires another round into the same bush where the Su-130PM was. The Su-130PM has moved down. He's much closer to the enemy cap now. And he just got taken out by our T-34-100. Of course, he was back at our cap area. He was overlooking the field. Okay, next aim shot is going on the Su-101. And just before we can fire, he was taken out of the game. I suspect the convoy's fallen back and he's a bit further back in the forest, relying on his teammates to spot for him. They're 5 tanks down at the moment, so it looks like they are doing very nicely, but unfortunately Talon's only got 605 hit points of stun assist and 190 of damage so far, so unless he picks up the damage, he's not going to win this contest. Definitely needs to get more damage. They found another one. It's the Progetto. He's quickly dialing in. And oh, well, the Progetto went down. They're getting close to where the convoy is probably located. In fact, they've just found the Object 430. It's a tier 9 game with tier 7 tanks in it, so he's bottom tier. Lands one right in front of the 430, who then does take some stun assists, so he did get something out of that. Now he's up to 1,364 stun assists. They're firing deeper into the forest, so I think the convoy is behind him, behind where the Object 430 was seen. Enemy T-71's on the move. They move very quickly, so difficult to get an accurate shot on him. So we're only 2 up on the enemy now. We were 5 up on them. Now we're only 2 up. They've managed to claw some back. And it's down to that Object 430 in the convoy. I think they're the ones who actually been doing the damage. The Object 430's got 2 kills. The convoy's got 2. So yes, those are the priority targets. There's the convoy. It's just dialing in. Almost ready to go. Round. Oh, he fired the round in. And he would have got a direct hit, but unfortunately the target was killed. So we're now looking at a steel Waffenträger on the other side of the battlefield and a Skoda T-50 near their cap area. Still 2 up on the enemy. The Su-152 is moving down into that little dip at the north end of the lake. We're firing a blind shot in. Oh, he killed the steel Waffenträger! Blind shot kill. He knew the guy was near there, but he actually fired it in and hit the steel Waffenträger square on, wiped him out. Okay, he's aiming behind the rock, hoping to get the ISU-122S. Oh, and he just killed him! So that's a second blind kill by Talon. That's racking up the damage now. The 430's gone, which means now there's only 2 enemies remaining. The Skoda T-50 and their S-51. He'll be in the woods. He won't stay out in the open. He's too slow, too big, too easy to hit. So he will be hiding in the woods at the moment, and the Skoda's moving towards the woods. And Talon's trying to get into a position so he can get a shot. We just lost our E50. The S51 fired around at him. And there he is. He's in the dip. Changing position. Talon styling in. He might get a quick shot on this guy. Rounds out. It lands short. And so he doesn't do any damage to the S51 at all. But he's still in that dip. And we've got a T28 prototype nearby. And the Skoda T50 is moving in as well. But remember, they've got a Skoda T50 hiding in the wood. And there goes the S51 to the T28. Which means the last enemy tank is that Skoda T50. And he just took out our one. And then he fired another round into the T28 and took him out as well. That was a shot that directly hit the Skoda. So the nearest tank we've got is the T34-100. It's just short of the cap area. He's on the rise the other side of the cap area. And a Waffenträger who's now crossing the lake towards that spot to try and get a shot. And in the meantime, we can see that Talon is moving, getting closer back to our cap area. And I think once he's done that, he's going to move close to get closer to the enemy cap so he can get a more direct hit. After that, he'll go lakeside. There's the Skoda. Okay, Skoda's in sight. He can stop moving now. He doesn't need to get this close. He suddenly spotted it. There is the Skoda, getting close to the water's edge. He thinks it might give him an advantage, and it does because he takes out the T34-100. It's now just Talon and the Waffenträger. But he's got very low hit points, this Skoda. He could be taken out with a one close shot. Now, rather than heading towards the enemy cap, he needs to go and support the Waffenträger as he's engaged in the Skoda. Two targets will distract him. Okay, he's going to the aim. The Skoda's popped up to take a couple of shots, fire off his magazine. Talon fires around it. Oh! He did get a near miss on the T50. He clocked him for another 81 hit points, which makes him now, well, a splash kill. You could certainly nudge him and win. The Waffenträger's going in close. Remember, he's got no armor. And Talon, well, he's moving lakeside to try and use the defences of the ground, and the Skoda got a shot into the Waffenträger. Talon's getting an aim shot in, trying to line him up. Okay, where are you going to come up? He's obviously going to pick the spot so he's got some form of armour. It's a very difficult shot. I get close to the Waffenträger and go for the shotgun. I know most people say, oh, well, you shouldn't do that, but in these circumstances, he's got the defences because he's got that bank to hide behind. Okay, we've been seeing the Skoda might actually try to hit us now instead of the Waffenträger, and that might give the Waffenträger the opportunity he needs to dive in there and take a hit. Talon's doing exactly what I would do. Go towards the enemy, make two targets, and make him confused as to who's actually going to get the last shot. Even if he does hit Talon, Talon will get the last laugh because the Waffenträger will immediately jump on him. Here we go. This is where it gets fun. Go for the ram kill or the shotgun. It really will confuse him. He won't be happy about this. Oh, he does get taken out, but the Waffenträger can now go in and finish him off. He does take one hit, but now he's a done deal. That's it. Oh, he fluffed it. The Waffenträger fluffed the shot, and the Skoda's in reload. They're jockeying with each other whilst they're reloading each gun, but the Waffenträger finishes it first, and he gets the victory. Well, that was a very exciting battle. It was a first-class tank of a talon1958 in the GW Panther. He didn't survive the battle, but he certainly did distract the guy. I think it was the Waffenträger who almost gave all of us a heart attack when he fluffed that shot. Really, really embarrassing to fluff a shot at that moment. He should have driven in at exactly the same moment as Talon did. And then the Skoda would have been confused as to which target did he attack first, the Arty or the Waffenträger. If the Arty doesn't shotgun him, the Waffenträger would hit him. And unfortunately, we have a Waffenträger driver who wasn't that good at what he should be doing. Anyway, let's have a look at the... he managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits out of that one. He got 11. His win rate was 1,461, which is fairly good. It's okay. It's about average, but it was a good battle. There was a difficulty with actually getting accurate shots. He did get some stun assist, though. Let's have a look at team scores and see where Talon was. Mid-table on damage, 1,110 hit points. The highest scorer in the game was actually that Skoda. He managed to get a high caliber for 6,325 hit points. He was actually quite a good player. The Waffenträger, I'm afraid, was fairly poor. You can see here he didn't have much in the way of damage and only got 1 kill. The third highest damage in the game, or second highest damage, was in actual fact the E50 on our team with the Confederate and 3,659 hit points. When it came to kills, it was that Skoda again. The T50 got 5 kills. 3 kills went to the ISU-122S and also to the... who else? No, nobody else got 3 kills. So those two got the highest number of kills, and 2 kills went to the Skoda on our team. The Object Treble 7 version 2, the King Tiger captured, Talon, who got 2 kills in his GW, and also the Object 430 and the Conway on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, it was the E50 who did the best with 1,062, 985 for the Object Treble 7 version 2, and after that it was the Skoda T50 on our team with 974, followed by that Skoda on the enemy team, 926 for him, and then we got Talon with 915. So he was actually in 5th place on XP, but he did put up a good fight, and he did exactly what I would have done, except I would have, definitely gone in at the same time as the Waffenträger, and unfortunately that Waffenträger just wasn't paying attention. Let's have a look at detail. 19 shots fired, 4 direct hits, 1 penetration, 13 splash. Damage of 1,110 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters, so he didn't get a hit on the guy at the last moment. 2 hits received, both penetrations I'm afraid, and he was finished off by the Skoda T50. 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and 1,742 hit points of stun assist off 12 stuns. So it's the stunning that actually gave him the first class tanker. 41,907 credits for the battle, 15,000 credits for completing a mission, and 56,907 credits altogether. After repair and ammunition resupply, took away a profit of 31,141 credits. 1,372 XP times 4 for the first victory, 5,490 experience points altogether. So not a bad first battle, at least it's a first class, so that puts him in the lead for the moment. Let's go and see in the second battle if Angelina can match him and beat him. Okay, the second battle is on the southwest spawn of Glacier, and this time the GW Panther is under the control of Angelina75. Game on. Well, as you can see, Angelina's got 2 marks on the barrel of her GW Panther. She plays it and she likes it, and she usually does very, very well. She's in a tier 8 game with a tier 7 Arty, so she has the opportunity to get extra XP, and this should give her a better result overall. She's good into her firing position and she's ready to shoot at the enemy. Let's see if she can get one of the enemy as they go up the ramp towards the aircraft carrier. Well, AMX 1357 spots a couple of enemy tanks. One of them was an AMX 1357. Oh, in fact, both of them were, and the other AMX 1357 was very badly damaged. He is basically a one-shot. So both teams lost an individual player. In fact, now our team actually managed to get another kill of a T-52. Okay, so we're 1 up on the enemy, but their AMX 1357 up the carrier is very, very short on health, and he could be a splash kill for Angelina. She's looking towards the top of the carrier, but she can't see anyone yet. We noticed the enemy Arty was also aiming towards the centre of the map. It's an IS-2M just behind the hill. Oh, no, it exploded prematurely. Didn't reach the IS-2M. She might be able to get a shot into that KV-1S. Both of them were waiting for our guys to appear, and then they fired a round in. Now, she might be able to hit the KV-1S on this. I think she can. Oh, it hit the carrier again. It's hit an obstruction again. This time around it hit the carrier, and the AMX1357 that was badly damaged was taken out by our GSO R1008. So we're 2 up on the enemy at the moment, and our teammates are actually asking Angelina to hit the Tiger P. Rounds out. Well, it landed where the Tiger P was spotted. Okay, she's now looking towards the east. There is an enemy tank fairly close by, actually. It's a Progetto 46. And from her position at the moment, she's in actual danger from this guy. She's loaded, fires around him, direct hit right in his face. She was spotted though, and she took a round from the Progetto. She's pulling back into cover. Well, she made it back into cover, but she did take a hit. 190mm round struck her, and she actually lost 244, which is a high roll. But she's managed to pull over the edge, and now she's in cover. Okay, just trying to get into a better spot. She can't return fire easily from this position, but she does have a teammate in an M6 nearby. Now he'd be able to fend that guy off, just in case he does get close. But Angelina needs to get a little further up that bank if she's going to get shots on the enemy. She might be able to hit this KV-1S though. She's lined up. Rounds out, and oh, direct hit. So she definitely got a good one there. No doubt about that. She smacked the KV-1S. Didn't kill him, but she came very close. We're looking towards that part of the carrier where the IS-5 is located. And there's a KV-3 behind him, and he's very close to the edge. If he's not careful, he'll fall in. In fact, he's putting himself up the bank, and Angelina hits him for 122. I think he was being a little too risky there to go up that bank. If you go up that little rise there, you could actually fall over. And the Progetto goes down to our M6, so he did a good job of protecting Angelina. But I did say, firing from that bush, that could be risky, because she would be in sight of the enemy when you fire in that direction. She's much better placed now, but she really needs to move to a better position, because that M6 is directly in front of her. He's actually stopping her from getting great shots on the enemy. She fires in and lands just behind the KV-1S. She's still down that ramp there, which means that, yeah, she's got to angle up if she's going to fire over the top. Makes it difficult to get accurate shots, especially if the target is near the your gun. Okay, our 5916 just made a horrendous error, drove in front of a GSOR, but Angelina smacks him in the face for 204. I think she tracked him as well. He's not moving. He's definitely stunned. I think she did smack him one there. It's a pity that our teammates didn't take advantage of that to actually put a few rounds in his direction. Okay, Angelina's loaded, and she's looking for something she can hit. I think that IS-5 is just a little too close to the ice there for her to get a shot on. She might be able to get the KV-1S though, although I think she's going to have to wait until he comes out the other side of the tunnel now that he's gone into that groove. There is a spot about halfway along where you can actually hit him, and unfortunately the kill shot goes to the IS-3. Okay, so there are still some enemies close by the GSOR. There's an IS-2M nearby as well. There's the GSOR. You pull back. Got a Jackson. Oh, and the Jackson's very close. He's very close. We fire around in and smack the GSOR with a near miss. But that Jackson is now where the Progetto was before. And so Angelina has to pull back. Well, she's up against the rock edge. Yep, she needs to back up a lot before she can shoot, because otherwise the Jackson will see her. Of course, if he does see her, he'll give her an ABC. Easy as do re mi. Oh, that's a terrible joke, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, she's moving to a new position. Good. This is better. She's kind of flatter. That's it. She's got a good position here now. She can angle a shot in there. Trouble is that Jackson still there? I think he's on that corner. Oh, he's moved. He has moved. He's down to the corner now. But she's only... Well, I'm not sure she's got a shot on that corner. I think that Jackson just got way too close. Now, she might be able to put a shot through that area. Can she? No, she can't. She's just too close. And the kill shot comes from the M44. Well, she did manage to get on an even keel, but she was just too close to the Jackson to get a shot on him at that angle. Okay, might be better for her to reposition, get closer to the M44, but not so close as that their tracers get spotted. This is better. She's being very careful not to knock any trees down. She might be able to get a shot on that GSOR as he comes down the ramp from the aircraft carrier. Our guys are doing well at the moment on the other side of the carrier, and the enemy just lost their IS-5. She hasn't got a shot on the Tiger P unless he comes forward. You still can't see where the GSOR is, but our guy's up on the carrier. So if the GSOR does go up there, then I think our teammates in the Viz 44-1 and the T-34-3 might actually see him before he gets to our GSOR. Yes, they have spotted him, and they're trying to get at our GSOR. I think Angelina's trying to find a position that works. She can't hit the Tiger P. And we did lose the GSOR, unfortunately. It was their GSOR that got the kill shot. And Angelina's decided to move further away for the moment to try and get a new angle. Now there's only 2 enemy tanks and 2 Arty. The tanks are the IS-2M and the Tiger P. We know where they are, so she doesn't have to worry anymore about position and not being seen. She can move about. Okay, she's got no shots on the IS-2M. Well, it's a difficult shot on the Tiger P. I think she'd be better off actually heading east and moving as far east as she can to get a better angle on the enemy. She managed to loop that shell over the top of the ships, but I don't think she did any damage. My best suggestion would be head towards the enemy cap area quick, really quick, and if the enemy meets you coming on the way, try and take them out. But they've got the enemy surrounded now. They lost the IS-2. In fact, they just lost their Tiger P as well, which means now it's only 1 RT left on the enemy team, the M12, because they lost their M44 as well. Or rather, we lost an M44. The guy was actually round the corner. Okay, so there's only 1 enemy left. The M12. Angelina's got 1,162 hit points. She could do with another hit if she can get it on the enemy. She hasn't got a whole lot of spotting assist, but she does have some damage assist off one of the enemy. Two of our guys headed straight for the cap area. I suspect that the enemy RT will still behind the cap, waiting for them behind the cap area. It's difficult to get up this slope, so steep. I'll be very surprised if the enemy RT, the M12, has made it this far. We've got the T-34-3 behind us. Both our heavies are headed into the cap area. Kind of peculiar to do that. They've got loads of hit points, so they don't really need to stay in the cap. The most likely place for the enemy to be, though, would actually either be behind the cap or she knows the position. And I just saw a tree go down, but I think that was the T-34-3 doing that. Yeah, you know the other position? It's in grid square E0. The position where you can shoot back at the cap. And look, whoever's doing it is... the enemy Arty is aiming in that direction and firing in that direction. So he is probably to the south, surprisingly, or he's much, much closer. And Angelina's about to find him. They're capping. They don't need to cap. I think Angelina, oh, one of them has left the cap. Good, okay, that gives us a chance. Now, where did that M12 go? Okay, so he's not in the position at E0, which means he's probably behind the cap. The T-34-3 has not found him yet. Angelina needs the hit points, so she could go into the behind the cap area. But she's staying in the cap to cap out. And that's it. They've ended the game without killing the M12. So he did get away. I kind of have the feeling that M12 is actually sitting behind the cap. Okay, end of battle. Let's have a look at the end of battle results. Here's the end of battle results, and it was the second class tank of Angelina75 and the GW Panther. She managed to get, well, just the second class and a win rate of 1,833, which is higher than the amount that Talon managed to get, so she did better than him. And this battle took place a day after the other one. So let's have a look at the team score and see where Angelina was. Well, the highest damage in the game actually went to the IS-2M on the enemy team with 2,359. Second highest damage was the Viz-44-1 with 2,348. The third highest damage was 110, who managed 2,296. The T-34-3 managed to get a Confederate out of that game. And we can see that Angelina is here. She's actually in 6th place on her team. But there were some players who were ahead of her in the game. Notably all of these 5 here. So even though she's 6th on her team, she's actually in 11th overall because there were 5 players ahead of her. So yeah, unfortunate that. When it came to kills, it was the IS-2M who got the highest again. He got the highest damage, he got the highest number of kills, 4 kills to him, 3 kills to the Viz-44-1, the GSOR, and 2 kills to the M6, the M44, and to the GSOR 1008 on the enemy team and their Tiger P. When it came to base XP, it's Angelina with 733. She did better than everyone on the enemy team, which means she came 6th overall on XP because, of course, she was tier 7 and she was up against tier 8 opponents. The Viz-44-1 managed to get the highest with 1,225. The second highest was the M6 with 866. And the third highest was the T-34-3 with 838. The Viz-44 was the one who got the Invader that capped out. I'm pretty sure that M12 was behind the cap area after all. I did think that he might have retreated, just as we've seen what Arty Noobs players do, to pull back from the cap so you can still keep firing at enemy tanks in the cap without them seeing where you are. If you do it from that position in E0, you can fire at the guys in the cap, you know, just get a sighting of them, pull back, fire at the same spot, and they can't see you because of the bush mechanic. The only problem is the traces are so visible nowadays, the enemy would know exactly where you were and they would try and hit you. They at least try to chase you and see if they can get a hit on you that way. The only safe place to be is the other end of the map in this sort of situation, but I don't think that M12 did that actually. Anyway, let's have a look at detail. 11 shots fired, 5 direct hits, 1 penetration, 7 enemy vehicles splashed in that game, damage of 1,402, hit points of which 1,185 were up more than 300 meters. I'm not sure which one she actually got the penetration shot on, So a quick look. Oh, it was the AMX1357 right at the start of the game. She fired one of those rounds in. They did connect with the AMX1357 and actually penned him and took most of his hit points away. So that was a good shot. She also received one hit. That was from the Progetto, and it was a penetration. She damaged 5 of the enemy, killed 1, did 284 hit points of damage assistance, plus 322 of stun assist off 7 stuns, and she got 13 capture points in the cap. 31,310 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 16,559 credits, 1,099 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 2,199 experience points altogether. Right, okay, this is the big decider. Who actually did better off? Well, we saw Angelina got a higher win 8 than Talon, but she only got a second class. And if we look at the other results, yes, we can see that Talon got a first class during that game. Even though he got a lesser win 8, he only got 1,461 to Angelina's 1,833. It's counted on the class of tanker. And in this case, Talon gets the sleep in. And it's Angelina that's getting up at the weekend. She tried hard, but she didn't get it on the GW Panther. But the good news is that there's another video coming up, and that one is in the 212A. So we'll watch that video next, and well, I'll do that video next, and we'll see if Angelina wins on the 212A. I hope you enjoyed this replay. If you did, please give these videos a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And please do let other people know that what Arty Noobs exists, and that we have really great replays, as well as the second channel, which actually has replays without any commentary whatsoever. Thanks for watching.